Aloha! Welcome to Kōkua Hawaii Foundation's ＡINA Cooking for Change, a virtual family cooking series hosted by Chef Ed Kenney, Kōkua Hawaii Foundation board member and co-owner of Town Hospitality Group. Our third ＡINA Cooking for Change session features Chef Lamont Brown and his wife Amy, their keiki, Miles and Maya, and their friend Mia, who will be cooking Ulu Pound cake with a Liliko'i Glaze. This webinar will be recorded and available for view live after the live Zoom on Kōkua Hawaii Foundation website. Details will be sent to participants in a wrap-up email. This Zoom webinar will be in presenter mode, so only the presenters will have video and audio capabilities. The best way for participants to interact with Chef Lamont throughout the session is to use the chat box. Kōkua Hawaii Foundation staff will be monitoring your questions and comments, so please drop your questions to Chef Lamont there, and we'll be sure to share them throughout the webinar. Please be sure to select all panelists and attendees when you send in your chats so everyone can see your comments. Let's practice using the chat box now. Let's have everybody tell us how many family members you're cooking with today. What city and even state maybe you're tuning in from, and your favorite recipe to make with ulu. Aloha, I see the Straw family from Mililani. They're cooking up some ulu chips. They loved it last week. Thanks for tuning in. Asher and Rachel are tuning in from Hawaii Kai and really looking forward to today. I've got Makiki in the house. Nu'uanu is in the house. Jane from Kailua, this is her first time using ulu. Kina and Lily are tuning in from Kualoa. Aloha, friends. Thanks for joining us today. Punch Bowl, Haleiwa, a family of 4. Wow, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you here. Today, we'd love for you to take photos of your family cooking along with Chef Lamont and of your family with the final plated dish. Please share those photos on Facebook or Instagram and tag Kōkua Hawaii Foundation, Chef Hui Hawaii, Whole Foods, and the Hawaii Ulu Co-op. If you don't have social media, but would like to send us photos that we can share, please email them to aina@kokuahawaiifoundation.org. At the end of October, we'll be selecting 6 of our favorite photo submissions from the entire ＡINA Cooking for Change series, and they will receive a $50 Whole Foods Market gift card. Thank you all so much for joining us from Pearl City to Kaimuki, Waialua, and Hawaii Kai. Now let's start cooking for change.
How's it, gang? Happy Farm to School Month and happy Family Sunday Fun Day. I'm Ed Kenney, chef owner of Town Hospitality Group and proud board member of the Kōkua Hawaii Foundation. Thank you for joining us for the 3rd session of ＡINA Chefs Cooking for Change. During this month, we are really hoping to reconnect people to the food they eat, those they eat with, celebrating Hawaii's bounty, and diving deep into ulu. I should actually show you ulu. Green, fresh, underripe, starchy ulu. This is one of my favorite ways to cook it. I learned this in Tahiti. They actually just throw it right in the coals in the restaurant. We go right on the burners. What happens is it creates this kind of crust and it steams within itself. It gets this nice smoky thing. You take it, peel it, add butter, mash it up. This is probably the simplest way to prepare ulu and my favorite way to prepare ulu. I gotta say, 2020's been rough, but this month, I'm gonna turn these down a little bit because I'm overheating. This month has really kind of opened my eyes to the hope of the future. You know, none of these cooking sessions, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all these people pitching in, coming together, reconnecting, just all under this common sense of purpose. Our partners, for one. I mentioned last week, Chef Hui, Hawaii Ulu Co-op. This week, Whole Foods Market stepped up. The cooking kits that you're cooking with today, the sugar, the flour, all these things that aren't grown here, Whole Foods donated without without a care, without a worry. Donations are just flowing in to not only Kōkua Hawaii Foundation, but many āINA-based organizations such as this, because people understand the importance of reconnecting to the earth. And the one group that I really think has been underappreciated through all of this are volunteers. Nobody's getting paid for any of these initiatives that you've witnessed. I wish I could do a shout out to all of them, but unfortunately there's just too many. Since 2006, Kōkua Hawaii Foundation has had more than 3,000 āINA volunteers, āINA docents that go into the schools, work in the gardens, teach garden curriculums. 3,000 people since 2006. One person I would really like to highlight is Amy Brown from the North Shore. She's an āINA docent that's committed to going to her kids' school, doing āINA lessons, nutrition, education. We cannot thank Amy enough. It just so happens that we've got our chef, our guest chef today, who happens to be not quite as cool as Amy, but it's her husband, Chef Lamont Brown from Maya's Tapas and Wine in Haleiwa. He's going to show you another way to produce ulu in a sweet kind of a setting. He's going to do pound cake, ulu pound cake with Liliko'i Glaze. Let me tell you, this ain't your grandma's pound cake. I can't wait to try it. He's going to be cooking with his son Miles and his daughter Maya, and they're going to blow your mind. If you're ever in Haleiwa, I highly recommend going to Chef Lamont Brown's Maya's Tapas and Wine. It tells the story of the North Shore bounty. Sit there, just have a good time, really good, simply prepared food. I wish we could all be like Ohana Brown. Serious family to emulate. Enjoy, have a good day.
Here we go.
Hello folks, how's everybody doing? Hello guys, this is my family here. I got my beautiful wife Amy and the kids here. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm Miles. I'm Mia.
I'm Amy.
And today we're going to be cooking with you guys and showing you guys how to make an ulu pound cake. First, I'd like to state that we are with Maya's Tapas and Wine here in the North Shore. It is a local family-owned restaurant, and we kind of pride ourselves in using as much local ingredients as we can. Right now, during the pandemic, we've gone down from about 90% local ingredients to about 80%. However, we're moving our way back up, so it's really important for us to be a part of this foundation and teach āINA in schools. My wife, Amy, is actually the one that got me involved in āINA. She was doing it way before I was, and then came and asked me if I would do a chef visit at Wailua, school in which all the kids here attend. So I would have my wife introduce herself and talk a little bit about the āINA program while the kids get their ingredients ready and show you how to make a ulu pound cake.
I think, like Ed Kenney said, that it's mostly volunteers. And I've had a blast volunteering with kindergarten, first, 4th, and 6th grade. And it's actually taught me a lot about different things and being able to make a little bit of impression on the students and getting locally sourced ingredients from farmers markets and eating a little bit healthier and trying new things. Even Mia tries new things and she likes them, and she's the pickiest eater ever.
So this is going to be Mia's first time trying out the ulu pound cake. So if we can get her approval, then we're doing something right, Mia? Okay, girls, why don't you go ahead and explain to everybody what we have here a little bit. Mia, there's the recipe card if you want to go over a little bit, and then we can start measuring everything out. And let's try to do a little quiz here. As you guys are measuring things out, let's see if you can tell our guests what exactly food group everything is in.
Okay.
All right. So what are we going to start off with first?
2 cups of steamed ulu.
Okay, so thank you so much to Chef Hui and also to our friends over at the Hawaii Ulu Co-op. They are the ones that actually donated the ulu that you guys all received in your packets at home. Those of you that were lucky enough to be one of the first 50 to sign up and get everything together. So we have the steamed ulu. I'll start preparing that. And then what else do we need?
What ÄINA food group is the Ulu in?
The energy food group and the protective food group.
All right.
Do you know what that means or what that consists of? Because I don't. I'm gonna be honest. So I was hoping maybe you could help me out. Okay. So what Maya, what are you reading over there about the energy food group?
So next we have a cup of half and half, which is in the grains food group.
Which is in the what?
The grains food group.
All right. So is that gonna make us a little bit smarter?
No.
We can only hope.
Okay, so here with the steam ulu, what we're doing is we're taking a butter knife here. I'm not too sure if you can see what's going on. Okay, let me slide over, excuse me, kiddos. We're taking some of, scoot over a little bit. The steamed ulu here. It smells great, right, Mia?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna put this off to the side. And then what else do we have next? Maya, why don't you grab the other bowl and start measuring out the dry ingredients and put them in that bowl and whisk it to break them down.
Next we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
Okay, we have the vanilla extract ready to go. What else do we need?
Next you need 1.5 cups of unsalted butter.
All right, we got that measured out. So Maya, go ahead and start measuring everything out. So go back over that with her, Mia, and go over everything and get everything in there going together. What we're gonna do here as we're taking this off the rind and just scoop it out, you could use a butter knife or you could actually use a spoon. Either one works well. We're gonna take that and we're gonna have Miles do the monster mash here.
2 cups of
Because he's a little monster.
Oh my God.
He's gonna go ahead and mash that up for us. Yeah, this one. Yep, so nice and easy, just roll it around. There you go, just like that. So how are we doing over there, girls? What do we got going?
We're gonna do a 1/4 cup of half and half.
Okay.
You could do that off the
And should the butter be softened or cold?
Yes, so it would be best if you set the butter out as well as the cream cheese as early as possible, just to get that nice and soft. Before we do the wet ingredients, let's do the dry ingredients.
Okay.
Remember? So we want to put these in there and whisk that up together so we can break it up. See how we got here, bud? What you want to do is keep one hand on the bowl like this, like mommy's holding it, and then just push straight down. There you go.
2
You push
cups of
straight
fine
down,
sugar.
it breaks it
1
up nice
teaspoon
and
of salt.
easy, just like that.
Which
See
means
it?
salt isn't salt.
All right. So as we're preparing this, are there any other questions out there for us that we could try and answer?
So people are asking about substitutions. They're wondering to make it gluten-free, could you use almond or coconut flour?
Okay,
Honestly,
3
I'm
cups of
gonna
almond
assume you can.
and
I'm
2
not the
cups of
baker.
fine sugar.
The baker of the family is my
Fine
wife
sugar
and Maya. They're the
goes
ones
wet.
that have been correcting me throughout this process. But I would, you know,
It's 3
ingredients
cups
to me,
of
whole are
flour.
guidelines. So I think the best way to do it is just try to bake it once yourself and then go back in later on and try to substitute for the things that you'd want to use.
Sounds good.
Let's get some more here.
So right now the girls are measuring out the.
Yeah, and then use that.
Can we talk about why doing the flour the way Maya is doing it is a good way to measure?
So one of the reasons why I'm not the baker is because the one thing about baking is everything is so precise. It has to be exact. So when you measure everything out, when you're cooking, you just keep adding a little bit of this and a little bit of that until it tastes right. But with bacon, it's so precise that it has to be exact. So when Maya scoops in the scooper, it's really important for her to clear it off so it's exactly the 2 cups.
Thank you.
3 cups, sorry.
So do you guys cook as a family a lot?
Yeah.
Miles and I like to make chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. I wish I could say that I cook with them quite a bit, but honestly, I'm at the restaurant quite a bit. But when I am at home, we do try to cook together for special occasions like Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that.
It's yummy here.
The food's yummy here. All right, so we got this
That's
ulu
why
going right here. Miles, we're gonna measure this out. This is about 2 cups. I think we're gonna need a little bit more here.
We made a mess of the flour. What's next?
Okay, here we go.
Next way. Okay, so that's it for
Right,
dry
how many
stuff.
did you say?
Next is to cut the so they're doing that.
Okay, so Miles has done the monster mash here and it's perfectly mashed up this ulu. So we're gonna move this out of the way. Miles, come on over here, bud.
How much sugar? 2 cups of fine sugar. I'll do 1.
So right now the girls are going to get the sugar. How many cups?
2.
2.
All right, 2 cups of sugar.
You might can pour it into.
Yeah. Here, I'll put them in.
There you go. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Get it in there.
And so are you using ulu like in substitution of anything in this recipe, or does it add to the recipe?
You know, actually, when I was asked to do this, I was pretty excited because I know that I don't eat ulu much. The kids don't eat ulu much. So
I'm gonna go get
I kind of just went all over the internet and looked at different recipes and just came up with this one. I had never done it before. Like I said, I'm not quite the baker. I don't really bake too much. So I'm pretty sure you can substitute it with bananas or any other kind of a fruit like that. Just be aware that using the ulu, it is going to be a super dense cake. It comes out, for those of you in Hawaii or have eaten mochi before, it comes out kind of like mochi. Miles is trying to shoot his little video here. So we're going to go ahead and put this up so that way he can get back to work right here. And this will record everything he wants. It's not recording? Okay.
Oh, we got mine.
Someone is also wondering what they can use if they don't have half and half. Could they use condensed milk?
Half
or...
and half. Condensed milk will make it pretty sweet. Actually, I think that if you wanted to maybe remove a cup of sugar and add the condensed milk, that might help as well with the sweetness. Half and half. We went with half and half. The recipe that I came up with at first used
So now I have to go to
what am I call heavy whipping cream.
the.
I was using that at first, but
What's
half and
called?
half is just a little bit more healthier alternative. So you can substitute it for milk. Any kind of a wet liquid, pretty much, I would say. Yep, so now we're gonna mix it up, bud.
Wait, so we'll take that.
We'll do this right here.
I have to make like.
Okay.
Good job. Maya's
So-
whisking it. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah,
And
they
we'll try
can.
to get
Oh, yeah.
this in
Yeah, they
the
can see.
frame. Can we see over here?
Yep.
All right, so now we're gonna take the blender and at a low speed, it's always good to start off low so you don't get it everywhere. Once again, the ulu is kind of dense, so we're gonna slowly pick it up right up in here. All right, and then we're gonna pause for a minute on that. And now we're going to add the half and half just to keep this wet and make it a little bit easier to mix it up. So Maya, can we get the half and half? And then we're gonna do the cream cheese. Is this already measured out? It is?
Yeah, how much
Okay.
half and half is
Oh wait,
that?
no, it's not much.
It's not, okay, can we measure it out and then get it put in here? I know that the butter's measured out. So we're gonna ask Miles, let's cut this up in little pieces to add up just to make it easier to break down inside. Yep.
Like these two.
No, a quarter cup, so it's gonna be just up to this line right here.
Like
Yep,
that.
just cut it up in small
Like that?
pieces. You're gonna come
See?
like
On the
this,
inside?
Oh,
Right
it says
there.
1/2.
right there,
Mm,
right there, right there.
I think you only need a quarter cup.
Yeah, just
I
a
know.
quarter cup, my love. You got
want
it?
a quarter cup measuring cup? That might be easier.
Okay, we're good.
We're good right there? Okay, so let's put that in
Here's
here.
actually a quarter cup for whatever.
All right. So, yeah, it's a little bit more, a little bit less.
Yeah, we're
It's okay.
improvising.
So we're gonna go here. What do you see? Does that look good in there?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, what's next?
So we're gonna turn this on low
2
again
teaspoons of
and just
vanilla.
incorporate this heavy cream in here a little bit more.
Oh, and what should the oven be preheating to?
Oh yeah, we apologize. We should preheat the oven to 300 degrees.
Let's get this house hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me do
So,
that for you.
Okay. Now let's get that
Okay,
going.
do we get another bowl?
No, we're gonna add all that in here, remember? So now that we have the ulu in here, we have the heavy cream, we're gonna add the butter.
Nope.
I like to add the butter with the ulu because once again, it incorporates the flavor and it makes it a little bit easier being that it's such a dense product. Easy to work with, should I say. So we're gonna start at a low. Get that in there real good. Hey, let's put that away, okay? So let's get this going.
Maybe just a 300?
300.
Yeah, I just set the oven to 300.
So we'll turn this up a little bit more. Once we get that mix in here, we get a nice creamy texture. We're gonna put a stop on that. Maya, let's get our vanilla in there. Or Mia, sorry.
That's one
By the
teaspoon.
way, we
Or
have
tablespoon.
tablespoon. Not teaspoon, sorry. We have dubbed this
Make
the
sure you do it to the top.
M&M show.
M&M show.
M&M shows.
How do you say that? Tell the viewers, how is it?
M&M shows.
All right, there we go.
M&M shows.
M&M.
That's only one, right? Is it one or two?
Yes.
You already put one in here.
It's two.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna try to get over here. Sorry, our central corner. Oh, actually, we can
Two,
place it
two,
right
two.
here.
It's all the way to the top.
Let's shift this over here. Sorry.
Goodbye, pumpkin.
Yeah.
pumpkin.
How's that?
Wait,
Yeah,
Maya.
that's great.
Is it 2 teaspoons
Yes,
or one?
that's two.
Okay, get that in there. All right.
Okay.
Hold on, let's get our board situated here, bud. Get it around this way. All right, so you're gonna go that way right there.
Ooh, I can
Turn
do
that on. We need the eggs, ladies. Let's get the eggs going. Remember?
Oh, and where are these eggs from? Do you know?
Oh yeah, so we got
Two, two. Each
one of our local farms up here in Eel Farms. Were generous enough to donate these beautiful
Come in here.
local eggs that we have here. And actually, these eggs are so delicious that I'm actually going to be getting a hold of them and seeing if we could get them to supply us with eggs for our restaurant. Because it's really important for us to use as many local products as possible. So here we go. We're going to get the eggs right here to the girls. So how many eggs do we need, girls?
So we need 4 large eggs. Well, we need 4 eggs, and then we need 2 egg yolks.
All right. Let me put this on pause here.
Because
At this point, I like to add the cream cheese in here. So Miles, you're gonna add that in there?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Scrape that off in there with this right here. There you go, right there.
Here's another
Scrape it off.
Yeah.
The cream cheese has been out for quite a while with the butter, so it's really important to have these out maybe up to 30 minutes ahead of time, so that way it can be nice and soft.
Let me know. Okay.
All right.
We don't want to eat shells later.
That's good.
You're doing, Maya's doing the egg white.
Yolk.
You're doing yolks or whites, Maya?
Yes, egg yolks.
Yolks.
Yeah, it's yolk.
Okay. Do you need another mold then? Oh, okay.
I use this one to put on.
I don't think they can see you.
So that's,
Oh yeah, they can.
they
See you.
can, they can
Yeah,
see
there
me.
you go, right there. You can see the girls right there separating the eggs. How's it coming over there, ladies?
2.
You guys are doing great.
Do you guys have suggestions on what to do with the extra egg whites?
Egg white omelets. Save those. You can put them away and store them in the refrigerator for a couple of days. But they would make a great egg white omelet for the next day.
Oh!
Oh.
So,
You have all your egg yolks, 2 egg yolks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Egg
go
yolks
wash
in
your
there.
hands, Maya.
All right.
I already know.
And those are the 4 eggs. Like,
Yeah,
everything's
there's
in
4
here.
eggs here.
All right, cool. Miles,
Yeah.
you're up, bud.
Okay, hold on.
Thanks for getting the girls some towels. Important to stay clean.
Thank you. Ouch.
Okay, so
I
now that
also
we
just
have
looked
this
like-
in here nice and mixed up, we're gonna
I'll
go
take your
ahead and add the eggs.
Eggs.
Miles is gonna drop those in here. Go right ahead, dude. Just dump it in there. All right, get it all in there. Scoop it up. Just put that in the sink. And now we're gonna go ahead and start this blender back up. Always starting at a low speed, and then slowly turning it up once we get everything incorporated.
And if you have a compost at home, those eggs would be great in there.
So what do we use the compost for afterwards? What is it good for? So just for planting or yeah. You got. What else do you got here?
Did you ask for cream cheese?
Got cream cheese is in. And then so we have all of our wet ingredients in here now.
Yeah.
Sugar's in here. Everything's in here. Okay, so we'll turn this down. Okay, so now we got a nice, fluffy, somewhat dense consistency here. Once again, I have to keep reiterating that the ulu is dense, so your batter is going to be pretty dry. It's
Yeah.
okay. We've worked this recipe out a couple of times, right, Maya? It works out perfect.
Here,
All right.
push it in.
So now we're going to clean up here just a little bit. We got our salt in here, girls.
Yeah.
And sugar? Okay, so now mine, let's get the scoop and add a little bit in at a time.
Okay, well, can I have that?
This one?
Yeah.
Let me wipe it.
Here you go.
Can you wipe the bottom with that towel?
Any questions so far from the viewers? How's everybody doing out there?
No questions so far.
So Mia, have you been to any of the ina classes at school?
Yes.
What do you think about those?
They're fun.
They're fun. What's the last one you can remember?
The one where Auntie made me try the sweet potato.
Was it good?
No.
It was not good. But it's good to try though, right? It's always good to try different things.
Last
But you
year.
like that
Let's go,
one tea,
Maya.
right?
Let's add one in
Yeah.
there.
That was
So that was 4th grade, right? Do you remember what other plants you learned about in 4th grade?
I'll put it here.
Ulu. We
One
had
we're
ulu.
cooking with, yeah, we learned about ulu, which is made with, do you know what poi is made with? Do you remember what vegetable?
That you planted
sweet
in your
potato.
no, that you planted in your garden.
I planted. It was like
Yeah, so I like to add this in 1 cup at a time so you don't get too much flour
Mahalo.
everywhere.
not
So I'm gonna cut
Palu.
this off.
Palo. Yeah,
One more. It's not hang on the bowl like that. All right, so we're just gonna add this in. Start this up again on low. Get this incorporated. Maya, what's one big step that we're missing that we need to have done before we do this? What is all this gonna go in?
Oh, we have to butter and flour the pan.
All right, well, let's get that going. All right, we're all sweating now. The oven is up to 300 degrees. Yeah. Miles, you're going to help me finish this up over here. You mix this while I add everything in, okay? So when I tell you to turn it on, you're going to turn it on, all right, bud? Scoot it over here a little bit. If you see us sweating, it's because we just turned on the oven and preheated it to 300 degrees. All right, let's get some more in here, bud. Scoop this back a little bit. And we add this in the middle. Yeah. All right.
I personally fell in love with ulu when I had made steamed ulu with butter garlic sauce. That was really good.
So me and Maya, what are you guys doing right there? Explain to everybody.
We're buttering the pan so the ulu cake doesn't stick. And then you have to flour it.
Yeah. That's a good way of doing it. Hold up. Let's cut this off. We don't want to have 2 things in there at once. It might get stuck in the. There we go.
And if for some reason you don't have butter, could you use oil?
Yes, you can use oil, you can use pan spray. But you know, cooking is actually baking is actually what got me interested in cooking. I think it's a fun way to introduce cooking and good eating with kids. And this is the way my mom, she refused to use any kind of pan spray. She always wanted to butter and flour it. So I think that this is just an old technique that is pretty much, it'll never get you stuck, so to speak. Somebody got it. All right.
Really? Not if you keep it on the perimeter.
And if someone doesn't have a mixer, could they just like mix this really, really well by hand?
I'm not too sure that'll work. I would definitely use a mixer. One of the things that I try to do is make it as user-friendly as possible. If you go online, a lot of baking recipes call for kitchen stands and the real fancy mixers and stuff. But a nice hand mixer like this is perfect. You can get the job done. How are we doing over there, girls? Naya, how's it going? Okay, we're gonna add our last cup here.
Is that powdered sugar or is that flour?
It looks the same.
It does look the same.
All right. That's all right.
Press it.
Powdered sugar down.
Oh my.
Okay, there you go.
Can I press it?
Go right ahead, dude.
Put your finger, dude.
Okay, so
Daddy said low, remember? Low. Okay, hang on 1 second.
So what do you guys like about cooking with your family?
I like cooking with my family because then you get to eat stuff. Okay, so we can get it all.
Miles, why do you like cooking with your family?
I like cooking with my family because I get to spend time with them that way.
Great answer.
Nice, dude. Somebody paid you to say that?
So first, oh, you do
Let me
this. So
do
grab
some quick. I'm
and
gonna
put
take
like
this away real
3 spoons of
fast.
this with a super
Just
small
stir it up a
spoon,
little
like
bit more.
just down,
There we go.
and do like
Just the pluses.
There we go.
we do like enough. Oh yeah, this is fun. And then so first we have to
All right, folks.
hey guys,
Well, don't put your feet in there.
and then just
But not on the sink. That's on the counter. All right, so we're gonna try to get all this excess off here.
Ma, what are you doing? Grabbing your all the flour out?
That's all right. We'll clean it up. It's all good.
I'm trying to find.
How's it going? Good. Alright, so Mia has yet to try this, and she is the picky eater. So we're gonna give her the honors. That's fine.
Wait,
Yeah,
can
put the sugar.
I?
Yep, we can share one.
That's questionable.
All right, let's get a little spoonful. What do you think?
That's good.
Is it really?
Mhm.
I gotta do this one. All right, there you go. There you go.
So good.
Okay, so the girls went ahead and floured this cake, this pancake here, but there's a lot of excess flour. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you beat your pan quite a bit to get all the excess off.
All the excess off there. Wait, what?
Yeah, excuse me.
What was my mom talking about?
Because you're just sitting there eating those. It looks funny on the screen.
So can you talk about mise en place and why it's important to like have your setup going before?
Yeah, so mise en place basically means everything in place. And the importance in that is I am super notorious for leaving things out of ingredients and forgetting to add, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's really important to look at your ingredients list, get everything out, put it in order, and then that way you can just go right down the line, check everything off, and make sure that you get everything in there the way you're supposed to. All right, so you guys about ready?
Almost.
Okay. Well, we're not going to use that scraper that we have. So
I'm not
that
done
was
eating.
your face. All right. So now we got this here. We're going to go ahead and get this in our buttered and floured bun cake pan here. And super, super dense. But don't worry about it. It does work. It's really important to get this in
I
and
need to get
get
every
it
last bit off. Yeah, Lou?
even
Here, put it
right
in the,
around the pan.
no, don't.
Tell them that you can add more.
Well, no, we're not going to do that. Remember, it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. Yeah. So me and Maya have been playing around with this recipe for a while. And the other day, I was a little worried that it looks so dense. That's why I keep reiterating that it's okay that it's going to be dry like this. So I took it upon myself as a cook and not a baker to add a little bit more half and half to make the batter a little bit wet. At the end, it still worked out. However, it took longer to cook because we added the extra liquid to the batter. So if it comes out looking like this is the way it's supposed to be. Don't worry about it. I know that when it comes to cake batters, people are used to being a little bit more runny. So right now, we're just gonna get all this out. How you guys doing over there, ladies?
Yummy.
Pretty good.
I was thinking
All right. Here we go. So we're gonna smooth this out and make sure we get it nice and even.
So good. I think you can taste it.
And we're going to save this one for Alex. She hasn't tasted it.
I just gave
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
good.
did you?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So now what I like to do, just to make sure that you don't get any unnecessary burns or anything, you want to take a nice clean napkin here, paper towel, and just wipe off all the excess here around your pan. A lot of times this stuff will obviously burn because it's not as incorporated into everything, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of burnt flavor into your product. So it's really important to wipe all this excess off. How's everybody doing so far?
Good. People are saying it's smelling and tasting good so far.
Well, that's good when it's so far. All right, so now I'm not too sure if you can see, but we're gonna walk this over and put it into the oven at 300 degrees, and it'll bake for approximately 90 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes. What you want to do to check it is once you pull it out of the oven, you want to put a toothpick down the center of the thickest part of the cake. And when you pull your toothpick out, if nothing sticks to it, if there's no moisture or anything coming to it, that's when you know that your cake is done. So the good thing about this cake, for a lot of people that have baked before, you don't have to worry about it falling. It is a super, super dense cake, and it's not going to go anywhere. So don't be afraid to check it every once in a while. You go ahead and put your toothpick in. All right, so let's get this in the oven.
And then, girls, what are we making next?
The Liliko'i, that.
So can we go over what the ingredients were for the cake for people that may have missed?
Okay, Mia's gonna read it for you.
Wait, read what?
We're gonna read the ingredients.
Oh,
The
okay.
ingredients.
The ingredients were 2 cups of steamed ulu, 1/4 cup cup of half and half, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1.5 cups of unsalted butter, 6 ounces of cream cheese, 4 large eggs, 2 large egg yolks, 2 cups of fine sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 3 cups of all-purpose flour.
And then we're putting it in the oven for how long?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
And as you can see here, we are wiping down our workstation. I remember being a little kid, and my mom used to constantly tell me, it doesn't matter how good your food tastes if your kitchen is dirty. So it's very important to keep a clean workspace, and a good cook is a clean cook. Right, boys? Right, boys? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm used to saying that in the kitchen. I apologize. Right, Miles and ladies?
Yes. You say that to my brother?
Yes, all the time. So Mia's brother is also, he cooks with me over at the restaurant at Maya's. He's been with me for quite some time. So we'll give a shout out to Marcos Santos. Say hello to Marcos, everybody.
Hi.
All right.
That's
So
my soccer.
now let's get this
Move your
Liliko'i.
feet, lose your seat. Oh my gosh.
All right. So here you go. So Amy is the Liliko'i juicer expert. I was gonna do it a different way, but she showed me there's an easier way to do it with the chinois. Chinois is gonna be a strainer that we use.
And there's different ways you could substitute this.
Yeah. So we're gonna take the chinois here. This is a really, really fine mesh strainer that you really don't have to use one of these if you don't have one at home. But you can just go ahead and take the seeds out and juice it up. And we're gonna get this going really quickly.
Someone's asking really quick about their cake batter. It should be lumpy or should it be pretty smooth? The cake batter.
So it's gonna depend on the ulu itself, depending on where it's at and its rightness. We've done this recipe 3 times, and each time the ulu has been different. So the one that we used today was not overripe, so it was a little bit more powdery in texture when we mashed it up. I have used the one that has been a little bit more overripe, so it's a little bit more creamier. So it's gonna depend totally on the ulu that you're using.
Great.
Scoot down a little bit this way, see if they're both Maya. Come over here in a second.
Did you want me
Okay.
to do this?
Yeah, I've never used it this
Oh,
way.
okay, I can do it.
So, okay.
So you're gonna cut it in half.
And when you cut it in half, you want to make sure that you do it this
try-
way instead of this way.
So like I always do it over this somehow, so you don't lose the juice.
Wait,
Gotcha.
wait. Is this stuff really?
Yes, they're both Liliko'i.
Makes why are they different colors?
Why are they different? So depending on the flowers and the Liliko'i, that's a good question. Maya was asking why are they different colors. There's two different kinds of Liliko'i. You have the red ones and also, or more of a purple color, and the yellow ones. To be honest, I think Liliko'i is a little tart for me, so I don't eat it as much. Amy eats it a lot more than I do. And I think, which one do you think tastes sweeter or tartar if there's any difference in the Liliko'i? Or do you think it's still the same?
I don't really know the difference so much. Maybe we should have a taste test.
No, I'm not.
You don't want to try
Do you
it?
girls want to have a taste test?
No.
No? Okay.
But I'll have a little lip.
What about the open mind?
Fine, I'll have a seat.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and test this out. That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll see.
Okay,
which one
so
sweeter
this
or
is-
tartar.
This is
The purple one.
This is just some juice. We need spoons here.
Down there.
Okay, here's the purple.
Yeah. You gonna try it now? Maya, just try it. Is that sweet or is it pretty tart?
It's like tingling my tongue.
Tingling your tongue?
Okay,
Okay.
here
I'll try
is
this.
the yellow. Is there a difference?
This one's not as sweet.
It's not as sweet.
Oh,
so okay,
so-
that's what I thought.
The purple's sweeter.
Try this side. Come on, this side over here. So yeah, so according to Maya and what I thought, that the purple one is going to be a little sweeter than the yellow Liliko'i.
About how many cups of this do you
I
need?
like it.
So for the recipe, we just need a quarter cup of Liliko'i, and it's also going to depend on how you want your glaze, the thickness of your glaze. The more liquid is going to be a thinner glaze. The less liquid is going to be a thicker glaze.
I don't like the yellow one at all.
Really?
And so if people don't have these like fine strainers at home, what else could they use? Or how else can you get the juice out of it?
You can use any kind of a juicer that you have, or you can use anything that's going to help you separate the seed from the juice.
What about a cheesecloth or something?
You can probably use a cheesecloth,
A lemon squeezer thingy.
a lemon squeezer thingy.
Yes.
You go in the store and ask for a lemon squeezer thingy.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they'll show you right where they're at. You can use one of those. I've actually taken a clean towel and put it in the towel and just squeeze it really, really good. You want to use a microfiber towel because there's no lint. So yeah, anything that's going to help you separate the seed is going to be perfect for the juice. All right, let's get this up here.
Wait, don't we have a lemon squeezer thingy? Yeah, we do
Why are you
have
Here somewhere.
Because it's like the top part is like a little tiny
Yeah,
hat.
I think that would be a little bit tricky with these kind of seeds, though.
But yeah, the top part's like a little tiny hat, right?
Yeah, it is like a little tiny hat.
So you used 2 Liliko'i
I did. I'm gonna see how much
so far.
yields.
I'm gonna try a little bit of this. I think it needs more.
Do you kids know what the other name for Liliko'i is?
Nope.
Have you heard of pog juice?
Yes.
Do you know what the P in pog is?
Wait, isn't pog like an animal?
It's a
No.
fruit.
No.
That's a pug. That's a dog.
So then other
I was
Yeah.
like, wait,
So yeah,
is it
you know the
animal
juice that they
juice?
have in Hawaii, POG? What does POG
It's
stand
so
for?
good.
What does POG stand for?
Liliko'i.
No. POG is passion fruit, orange juice,
Juice.
and
Uh,
guava.
Guava.
Yes.
So the another word for Liliko'i is passion fruit. So that's what's in pog juice.
I thought you were talking about pug.
Yeah.
Like Frank.
We do not want to eat any pugs.
I was
Yeah.
like, wait, pug juice? That sounds so gross. What about dog juice? That is the puff.
Okay, so right here we have our 2
Puff
cups
juice.
of
Not puff.
powdered confectionate sugar, which is going to be our glaze. You need a teaspoon of milk, is that correct?
We need two teaspoons.
2 teaspoons of milk?
Yeah.
All right. We have our teaspoon of milk.
Frankie is so cute. Frankie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a puff?
That last one was very small, but
So it looks like we're using 3 or 4 Liliko'i
yeah,
to make the juice.
I'm gonna eat half of this one.
I'm not a big fan of
Okay.
yellow.
So, the confectionate sugar, if you can see right here, it's gonna come out kind of lumpy. You could go ahead and add your liquids to that, but personally, what I like to do is either sift it or stir it around and try to break it down, because that way you won't get the clumps in your glaze. Yep. So we're gonna take this guy right here and just kind of break those up, Maya, as much as possible. And they do sell sifters for powdered sugar where you can just add the powdered sugar in there. I don't know if we're gonna be able to break it down with that.
I feel like I used to sift flour with maybe a wired mesh. Yeah, and just shake it.
I don't think this is breaking anything.
Yeah, it's not gonna break it up.
Use
Well,
your
what we can do,
Maybe you could put it
Or
in a
let me
smash
see
it.
this works. Just take it, you can kind of just smash it around like this. And then once you smash it around like that, you're gonna go ahead and mix it again with this guy, okay?
Okay, got Liliko'i.
All right.
Can go in the compost also.
There we go.
Lamont, what do you think of that?
Yeah. Oops, sorry, put that right there. So, huh? No, let's finish this up, dude. Okay, you don't need to be videoing. Miles is trying to start his own YouTube video.
No.
Oh,
No, what is it for?
these aren't as sweet.
It's like this add that conflict.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
sweet. I guess they're sweeter, less tart.
Let's see what we got here. How's that
It's
going?
not
Miles?
as
It's going
explosion in your
Okay,
No,
mouth.
so
mine
just
is
bring
the
that
one
over.
part I
I know,
use
let me
now.
see
When
that.
it's bigger,
It's like
Yeah.
he
I mixed
like
it.
wanted. I showed him what like the app clips is,
Mhm.
and he always wants to be on.
All right.
So he has.
We're gonna pay attention to this right here. So we got our 2 cups of sugar in here. We're gonna take 2 teaspoons of milk. We're gonna add 1, 2, and then we're gonna take that and mix that up slowly. Go ahead. And you're gonna see a nice consistency. You're gonna try to keep everything in.
It looks like
Go.
slime. Yeah.
As you can see, there's not gonna be enough liquid in there, but you're incorporating it nice and slowly. So now we're gonna slowly start adding our juice. You wanna make sure to add the juice slowly, because if you add too much, it might be too running and it's just gonna run off in your cake when you're trying to glaze it. So once it starts turning into a paste, you wanna add just a little bit more. Try to get it all in there and mix it all
It
up.
looks like slime.
You guys love slime,
You
huh?
guys like making slime?
Yeah.
What do you think food group this would be in of the ÄINA food groups?
Yeah. Bodybuilding. I don't know.
The sugar food.
Oh yeah, caution foods.
And what
I
else?
had caution foods and
Bodybuilding food?
energy foods.
No. Liliko'i?
Oh, it's brain foods, right?
No.
There's a
Is
little
there
bit.
like a fruit section? Oh,
Mhm.
protective food.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wait, I don't see little food. I have to eat a lot of this. Like my slime.
Let's see here. Let me mix this up real
Oh,
fast.
that's especially French.
So we're gonna get this nice incorporated here. And once again, you are gonna have some extra Liliko'i juice or passion fruit juice, which is okay because it's totally up to you on the consistency you're going to want your glaze. I like it. You guys like it right here?
Yeah.
You think it'll stick to the cake like this?
Yeah.
So
You can
once
shake
you
it
get
later.
it to the consistency you want, just go ahead and spend a little bit of extra time in there trying to break up because we did not sift our sugar. So we're gonna keep going back and forth just to break it up just a little bit more and make sure we get all the sugar out or the sugar clumps out. Yes, ma'am.
I want to try this.
Okay.
So someone is asking if they make the glaze, can they leave it out on the counter or should they put it in the fridge or would that change the consistency of it?
I've always used it right away. I don't think it'll change the consistency of it. I've never really left it out. So I don't have an answer for that. I would say you want to use it as soon as you're done mixing it all together.
Well, but if the cake's not out yet. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's very important to cool the cake. Being that this cake is so dense, you're going to want to cool it for at least up to 2 hours before you put the glaze on it.
Wait, so how can you use it right away if it's like 2 hours? Because I know
Because
that's
this
not
is
like
TV
right away.
time and our cake is already ready.
Oh yeah.
So we
Or
went,
you wait till
we went
the
ahead and
glaze.
baked the cake earlier today because, you know, as Maya pointed out, it's kind of, there's no way that you're really going to be able to make the glaze and wait and then put it on top of your cake. So the glaze is, it's almost not an afterthought, but it's something you got to do a little bit later.
I think it needs more Liliko'i.
More Liliko'i?
I want to taste it.
You guys want to taste it
Yeah.
and see what everybody thinks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can we quickly go over what the ingredients are for the glaze?
Ladies?
So there's 2 cups of confection sugar. There's 2 teaspoons of milk. 1/4 cup of Liliko'i juice. That's it. Or you can use.
So right now it looks like we only used about an 1/8 cup.
Yes. And once again, that is going to be totally up to you and how thick you want your glaze.
And if people don't have Liliko'i, could they use some other fruit juice?
Yes, any kind of a liquid basically to mix your powdered sugar with. At the end of the day, that's all it's going to be is flavored sugar, whatever sugar you're using.
You guys have
Oh. I think it's time to get the cake out of the oven.
Okay, let's get the cake out of the oven and then drum roll. Yeah, get him bring it over. He's been asking for it. All right, so here we go. Here is our beautiful cake. Once again, it's really important to make sure you let it cool. This one we baked earlier today so that it could be ready for you guys. Seems that we're running out of time here. So at this point, once we got where we want, the consistency that we want, let's get everybody a spoon. And all we're gonna do after this is once you get it to your consistency, you're going to take your spoon to scoop it up and just go right down the middle of your cake and then just let it fall
That's so cool.
however it may.
That looks good.
What do you guys think? It looks like everybody's drooling.
Oh, it's only doing on the lines.
Yeah, that's right. And once again, it's totally up to you on how much you want to put on here.
I think you should put it all on
Put
there.
it all on there. All right, let's do it.
So just dump the whole thing on. It's so
No,
cool.
but then it wouldn't look beautiful.
I know. Yeah, it looks like a giant cinnamon roll. I know. It looks like a round waterfall. It kind of looks like the middle looks like a waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but there is a little bit of sugar clumps because we didn't sip the sugar. All you have to do at that point is if you find any is just take your spoon and kind of just smash it down and it'll break it right up.
Don't smash too hard because they get smashed.
Yeah. And that's it. Here we go, guys.
All right, and so before we eat, if people are wanting to visit Maya's restaurant, what are your hours? We can make a reservation.
Just like a big puddle.
So our hours, we do suggest with everything that's going on that you make a reservation. We are, unfortunately and fortunately, working at only 50% capacity right now. So we do end up turning a lot of people away. So it's really important to make a reservation just to make sure that you get yourself a seat. We're located at 66250 Kamehameha Highway in the North Shore Market Center. We're right to the right-hand side of the coffee gallery if you're familiar with them. We are actually open from Tuesday through Saturday, actually Tuesday to Sunday from 12 to 4 p.m. for lunch. We also do takeout for lunch. And then for dinner, we're open from Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 9 p.m., which is our last season. We do not do takeout for lunch, for dinner, I'm sorry, but we do welcome you guys in. And once again, it is really important to make reservations to make sure you get a seat. And yeah, thank you guys very much. Hope to see you guys up in the North Shore. And once again, a big mahalo to Chef Hui, ＡINA in Classrooms, and also to the Hawaii Ulu Co-op on the Big Island. And then we also want to thank Whole Foods for their donations of these lovely products. And also thanks to Jack and Kim for, bringing us into this and putting this whole entire foundation together. The kids love it. They talk about it every single, well, not every day, but almost every day, right? They love it. They'd always come home talking about the ＡINA program last year.
Someone wants us to taste it, so I think we should.
Okay, someone wants us to taste it. Do you see that? All right, here we go. Let's see this. We're just gonna go ahead and cut this right there. And I think we should bring out behind the scenes and have her be the first one to taste it, because she's been donating her time for the last, I don't know how long, and she's been helping out with this for every single one, and she's always behind the scenes, so we're going to bring her out and say mahalo to Alex for helping out and being a part of this lovely foundation.
Can I come over here next to you,
Yep,
girls?
come over on this side, I'll cut you guys some more cake.
I don't want it. I want that piece. No, I call it first.
Well, mommy
I
goes
live here.
first.
Mine.
And that is right, and because you live here, our guests always go before us.
I don't live here.
There you go, Mia.
Thank you.
I think your mess states otherwise.
And
There you go, Maya. And this is also a
Thank
great
you.
dessert to go with some ice cream and
I want ice cream. I have ice cream.
sandwich. All right, everybody
a bite?
dig in. Yeah,
Yeah.
dig in. Tell me what you think.
That's delicious. I
What?
didn't get a lot of glaze.
Mia
Wow.
liked it. If
So
Mia
good.
liked it, we're doing all right. Because Mia is a picky eater.
So good.
Like it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
I think it's better than the last one.
Even
Nice.
if there wasn't.
Uh-huh.
Okay, everybody say thank you. Say mahalo, everybody. Thank you guys. See you guys soon. Hashtag meet you at Maya's. And once again, thank you very much.
All good.
Says mahalo. Everyone loved it.
Bye. Bye.
You
It
good?
was better than the first time you made it. This one
Mhm.
was like, have a nice day. So much more like moist.